they emphasize their deep connection and shared interest. And I think that's super important. He's lived his life, and so he needs to enjoy the rest of his life.
If he loves her and he thinks she's great, then why not? And maybe this is what this Bill Belichick guy is. Maybe this 24-year-old Jordan Hudson just brings out, something in him.
And the fun stuff, right?
Maybe, I mean, she's 24. She probably, if they do end up, getting married or whatever, I just hope he's smart enough to protect his assets.
So hopefully, he has things in place where he doesn't have to worry about that. Hey, and welcome back to We Time Convo. I'm Debbie.
And I'm Liza. And today we are talking about romance with a serious age gap.
Yep. We're talking sugar and spice, silver hair, and fresh diplomas. And specifically, the new buzz around Bill Belichick, the legendary ex-Patriots coach, and his very young girlfriend. She's 24, he's 72. That's nearly half a century apart. And the internet, it has thoughts.
So today we're asking, is age really just a number?
So Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. So Liza, you know who Bill Belichick is?
I kind of, only because Irene just literally sent me the information the other day and I briefly read it, but not really. I just know that he's in the sports world, football world.
Well, he is a very accomplished coach in the NFL. He used to coach Tom Brady.
So that is the New England Patriots. Okay.
That's right. So Bill Belichick is 72 years old, and he has been in a relationship with Jordan Hudson. Do you know who Jordan Hudson is?
I do not, but I'm assuming that she's very young.
She is. She's 24 years old and a former cheerleader from Bridgewater State University. Obviously, the controversy here is the age gap. So they reportedly met on a flight in 2021, bonding over philosophy project Hudson was working on. Their friendship developed over time, and they began dating after Belichick split from his longtime partner, Linda Holiday, in 2022. The couple went public with their relationship in June of 24, making their red carpet debut at American Museum of Natural History's 2024 Museum Gala in New York City.
So wait, hold up. This is a 20, 30, 40, 50. I have to use my finger math. 20, 30, 40, 50. That's a 50-year age gap.
Almost 50. Yeah.
Oh
a little shy of 50. So yes, you're absolutely right. And that is what has sparked significant media attention and public discourse. So this surprises me and not surprise me because...
But this happens all the time.
Exactly. Like, what's the big deal?
From what I read is that he's coming out with the book, right? And that I guess the big deal about it is that the people are saying that she's somehow being very controlling over this book or, the situation, which I'm not surprised about either. Mm-hmm. But yeah, is it because he's a very known public figure?
I mean, you can speculate all you want, right? And I'm probably not one to talk.
And I'm assuming he has money. I'm assuming he has money, a lot of money.
Yes. So I think that there's factors that obviously make people raise their eyebrows. But yes, almost 50-year age gap is something to kind of pause a little bit. And for me, I do believe that, at the end of the day, people, as long as they're adults, who are we to say, no, you can't, or, I mean, it's, I'm not supporting you. I'm not, you're not doing anything to me. Love is love, right?
Yeah.
Although, if it was switched around and it impacted me personally, like let's say, for example, my daughter who just turned 18 decided to date somebody who was 50, I don't think I'd be pretty cool with that. I think that would really bother me. And I don't think I would be quiet about it. Yeah. I think I would make it very known to her that this is not the route that she needed to go. But I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you, Haley, one of our first serious boyfriends, when she was 18, she met someone in his 30s.
How was that?
I was not happy about it, of course. I want to say she was 19. Mm-hmm. I definitely was not happy about it.
Now, why weren't you though? Like, what? Let's like hone in on the reason why.
Immediately, I think, and this is just me, I'm like, what the F is this guy doing with a 19-year-old?
What's wrong with him?
Yeah, like what's wrong with him?
To make it cool that you can date an 18-year-old or 19-year-old.
As I got to know him more, they were a lot into the same things. Like, she's a video game nerd. She still likes to, play Pokemon and do all that stuff. And he's the same. Like, they're into gaming and everything. And I mean, of course, as a parent, you're skeptical, right? Mm-hmm. But I was fine with it after a while, but I really had to get to know him first and see, what his intentions are with her. And they were together for like, I want to say 5 years. And now she's with someone that's closer to her age, which I'm happy about as well. But I think that if he was maybe in his, like, if there was like absolutely, if there was a freaking 40, 50-year-old age gap, I definitely would raise hell and just be like, no, there is something going on here. I don't know.
What do you mean, like, something going on? Like, why would that just like bother you?
I don't know. I feel like someone like that is a pedophile.
But she's legal.
She's legal, but barely legal, right?
But what point does she not become like barely legal?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I just immediately am just like, no. Like, this man likes younger women and wants to take advantage of them. But maybe I'm just very untrusting. I don't know.
Now let's switch it around.
So, but if Vanessa was with someone in their 30s, how would you feel about it?
I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it because I think, each stage is different.
Yeah.
And so, I think she needs to grow up a little bit more in order to have a relationship with like an older person.
Yeah.
Because so like me and my husband, Peter, we have a 14-year age gap, but I wasn't dating him when he was in his teens, or even his early 20s.
Yeah.
He was in his 30s already. And so I think there is experiences that you have to have in life,
right,
in order to be able to date an older person.
Right.
And so I think for me, that's the criteria. I think when you're in your, you just turned 18, or if you're in your 20s, you still have a lot of experiences that you need to have. And I think with somebody older, sometimes they might influence you to be a certain way, or to do certain things that maybe you would have not done or done if you just had the freedom to experience it. Right. So,
yeah. And I think that was my thing too with Haley is not necessarily him. It was her as well. Because if you're like in so late in age, maybe you're looking for something more serious. You want to get married right away. And if that were to happen, it's like same thing. Like, you didn't even get to, this was your first serious boyfriend. Like, wouldn't you want to go out there and like meet other people or experience other things? Like, I wouldn't want that for her until later on in life. Right.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah. I think now,
and the maturity level too.
But okay, so we talk about our experience and our daughters dating an older man, but let's say, for example, switch it around, and what if it's a younger man who just turned 18 and they're dating somebody who's in their 30s? Would we feel the same way?
I would. Absolutely. Would you?
I would too, because again, it goes back to
I think it would be even worse because I'm a single mom. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, no, But do you think it really just depends on the person? Like, you could have a really mature, like, old soul of an 18-year-old, right? Or that just really likes older.
I'm talking about generalization. Yeah. Maybe there is a unique case where it just totally, like, I get it. It makes sense. But in general, no.
Yeah.
We need to have somebody who actually believes that this is no problem.
Yeah.
I think at a certain age, like, to your point, they're barely legal.
Yeah.
So to me, the way I look at it is they haven't experienced life enough to be in a relationship with an older person.
Right.
Now, and to your point, as an older person, why would you want to be in a relationship with somebody who hasn't had those experiences yet.
And men, they don't emotionally mature until they're 26.
Yeah.
It's proof, like nobody is really emotionally, mature until they're like in their 20s. So why would you want to be with someone that doesn't know how to keep the toilet seat?
But maybe you're just there to have fun though.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're
Very
there
true.
to have fun, why not?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'm here to have fun, but I'm not here to have fun with an 18-year-old.
Would you be embarrassed to like bring an 18-year-old around us?
I would never. So I was just talking about this. I was just talking about this with you guys. But when for that brief moment I was on the dating site, I decided not to change my age range or put like a limit on the youngest and the oldest. Just like whatever. I had like the next day I kid you not, 60 matches, and they were all from men from the ages of 25 and under.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe a few that were like 60. And I was like, holy crap. Like, no. The youngest was like 18 years old. And I was like, no. I would never date it. So Haley's 25. I would never date anybody like maybe like 5 years older than her age, or definitely not under 25. It just was very like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if these men think that dating an older woman, like it would awaken their sexuality or what. Okay. I don't know.
Okay. So there's dating, as in a relationship. And then there's just, having fun.
Yeah.
So there's those two buckets. So you're saying age matters for those two buckets?
Yes. Okay. And I can tell you now, I don't know if this is TMI. So when Liza, if it's Liza, it is. When I was dating men around my age, sexually, it just was not happening. And I'm talking about like with ED. Like, and I noticed it was a pattern. I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if this is age or what, but like, what the hell? And then okay, wait a minute. You said ED. What the heck is ED? You don't know what erectile dysfunction is? It's
I don't have that problem.
Well, because you're with a younger guy. You are with a younger guy. I kid you not. Like it was at first I thought it was me, and I was like, oh my God, like, am I just not desirable? It was a trend. I was like, no, this is not happening.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I actually talked.
What do you mean a trend?
Like it just like multiple.
They have a hard time keeping it up.
Yes. Or even getting it up at all.
What?
And so I had talked to my doctor about it. I said, like, what is it? Is it me? And she was like, no, Liza, it's age. Like as men get older, it's just harder for them to hold an erection or even get an erection.
Yeah, but you're not old, Liza.
Well, in men in their 40s, it happens to men in their 40s, sometimes in their late 30s.
Wow, I did not know that.
So if I want to have fun, it definitely would be someone in their 30s.
Okay.
If I want a relationship, that really doesn't matter all too much to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yes, that's just my thing. Okay. So there is two different age buckets for if you want to have fun and if you want a relationship, right?
Got it. So what's the youngest that you would date? 25?
The youngest? No, girl, no. Maybe like 35. So David was 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
That was fine. I would say 35, maybe about 10 years.
Okay.
I don't know. And I'm not gonna restrict myself to age. Like if I happen to meet somebody that was
32,
like 15 years younger than me, it was great, then why not?
Sure.
But as far as the older men, I just don't have an attraction to older men. Like I've matched with people that were 50 years and up, and I don't know if it's just them, but
the energy that they
exude, I just was not like, no, maybe I like emotion, like maybe I like really immature men. I don't know. But look wise, like unless they look like, like a young George Clooney, like salt, pepper hair, or had like an English accent. I'm all for it, but I'm just not attracted to older men, even if it's like 5 years older than me.
Okay, first of all, because you look very young.
Yeah.
You look very young for your
thank
age.
you, Debbie.
So, yeah, you do. So I would imagine, I would probably be like, oh, Liza, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. And maybe I haven't found, and again, I'm open to it. I just haven't found the right person.
Got it.
So let's talk about you, Debbie.
Yes.
So you have a 14-year age gap.
I do.
So are there any pros and cons? Like, I think for me, like dating someone younger, I love to talk about, like, I'm a 90s girl. I love to talk about the 90s, all the music that I listened to back then, everything that I've watched. I want to talk to somebody that can relate to all that stuff.
So that's a con because there's certain music that like we can groove to. Yeah. And my husband's like, what is that? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You don't know like Stevie B? Yeah. Like, how do you not know?
Oh my God,
yeah. Like, what? And like, it's a certain extent. There's some songs that I'm like, he just does not know. And because, to top that off, he's not from the Bay Area. So there's like certain Bay Area music that we
E40. Yeah.
Well, no, he knows
Mac Dre. Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about like when we were in high school kind of stuff. So that is a little bit of a drawback.
Yeah.
What else is a drawback? I don't know, like the drawbacks and the positives are like one and the same. So like, for example, my husband has a lot of energy. And so for somebody like me, that's great because then it gets me to do stuff. Mm-hmm. But then it's not so great because I don't want to do stuff.
Yeah. You're off. I'm 50.
So that is kind of like what I struggle with is like, he wants to like,
well, he likes to go out. Like he likes to go to the clubs and
he likes to go out. He likes to go club. He always asks me to go with him. He knows damn well I'm not going because that's just not me. I've been there, done that. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why it works out really well is like, I'm very chill. Like I'm past that age of like caring and having the energy to check everything and to be a detective. I'm sure you girls out there, you have the energy and you guys are, like, I don't know. Were you the crazy girl?
Yeah.
Like there was a stage of crazy girl, right?
Yeah, in my 20s.
Where you were crazy and you were like...
probably crazy now still.
Well, my crazy days are over. I'm over it.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is if you want to go ahead, like go do your thing. Like sometimes he's like, do you like even care about me? I'm like, of course I care about you, but I'm just like... You're a grown man. Like I've come to the realization that you're going to just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Right. And so I leave it up to you. You have to hold yourself accountable. Right. Like I'm holding you accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. So the way I look at it is I'm not going to trip out because he wants to go out. I'm not going to trip out if he flirts. Like, do you like I met you as a flirt? I'm pretty sure you're going to continue flirting. Now there's a fine line between flirting and actually committing adultery.
Right.
So to me, you know what that fine line is, but I'm not going to trip out because you're out having fun and talking to some girl and dancing. I don't care. So to me, I think part of that comes with me being older. And me just realizing, and here's another thing. I know how to be alone. Like I was alone for...
You like being alone.
I was alone for years.
Yeah.
So, and I liked it. So that's, I think, another plus. And I think that's one of the reasons why we work is because I still allow him to be him without me and him always fighting. It just, you do you be happy. You know what we have. And if you want to lose it, that's up to you. Like, and here's the thing. Will I be sad? Of course I'll be sad, but I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be so devastated that I can't live my life. I'm going to continue to be happy, bro.
Yeah.
So like,
you do you and I'm going to do me and I'm just going to live my life.
Yes. Yeah. So I think that's part of just being an older person and being alone and being like, I I've created a life where I'm happy with what I have.
Right.
So if you decide that this is not for you, that's okay. I'd be sad because of course I love you. But at the end of the day, I know how to survive. So, and I have a lot of great things, right? Like I have my daughter, I have my friends, I have my family. So
career. Yeah.
You know, like, so, and it's not to diminish what we have, but it's also like the realization is that my life is more than just a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what works out for us because yes, a 14 age difference is quite a bit. He has a lot of energy both in and out of the bedroom. And so, like I said, that tends to be like great and not so great.
Right. Especially if you're just tired, right?
Yeah. So, but I think for him, he accepts the fact that I'm an older person.
Yeah.
And this is what he married into. Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We're going on our 4 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
But again, we'll see how things go, you know, but so, he makes me laugh. He really does.
See,
he
that's
cracks
important.
me up all the time. And, you know, he is like, sometimes I look and I'm like, what happened? Like, how did I get there? But there's so many great things about him that I really enjoy. Like he has energy. He's positive. He's passionate. Yeah. He's a hard worker. Like I can list all these great things about him. Yeah. And it overshadows some of those like interesting characteristics about him that I probably wouldn't.
Well, what I love about you guys, and I think that's why maybe I'm not really attracted to like really older men, is that you guys have playful banter. You know, like you guys are just like, no, fuck you. No, fuck you. Like that's the kind of energy I bring in, you know, like I'm funny and I like to poke fun and like, I don't want anyone that takes themselves too seriously.
Well,
you know, like I just want to be like, bro, get the fuck out of my face. Like, you know, and, but have them not get mad about it. Right. You know?
Yes. Well, he's a firecracker. I'll tell you that. And
I just crack up when I'm around you guys. Cause I'm like, I don't know if they're seriously fighting or if they're just play fighting or what. And he just called her bro and like, well, and you're so unfazed by it. You're just like, whatever, dude, shut up.
Well, and that's the way you have to be with him because he is a fire. He goes on and then like, you know, at the end of the day, I know, you know, he wants to come home. Yeah. He wants to come home to me. Yeah. And so it is very.
Oh, he's obsessed with you. He's obsessed with you.
So, I mean, to me, at the end of the day, we can continue to fight. Yeah. But at the end, we know that we want to be back together. Yeah. So I think we both are fully aware of that. Yeah. And so, like you said, we do quite a bit. Like, I think if somebody heard us, they'd be like, oh my God, what is going on? Yeah. But then I think once they find out kind of like how we are, and you're absolutely right. I'm very unfazed.
Yeah. It's so funny. You're just like, whatever.
But he does bring up energy. Yeah. And I appreciate that because I think, I don't know. I unfortunately did not date. I was single and then I dated him. Yeah. So I don't know what the dating world looks like with older men.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, maybe I'm in this stage in my life where I'm having so much fun. I didn't really get to have that college life. I didn't get to really have that party hard life because, you know, like I was a mom for a long time. And so, and I still am a mom, but my kids are older and, you know, I have my kids half of the time, but like, I'm just in that phase where I just want to have fun and I want to go out and party and I want to stay out late. I want to go on random, you know, vacations. And I don't want to be with somebody that's like my back hurts or
I have me all the time.
My gout is kicking in. You know, like I don't want to have to take care of someone. I'm not ready for that. I'm ready for all the fun and I'm ready for all the excitement of a new relationship, all the adventures. Not to say that I can't have that with somebody. There probably are older men that could do that. But yeah.
But I did kind of a split second of dating and it wasn't fun.
No, it's not. It's not. So. It's very disappointing, but you know. But maybe this is what this Bill Belichick guy is. Maybe this 24-year-old Jordan Hudson just brings out, you know, kind something in him. Yeah. And
the fun stuff, right?
Maybe, I mean, she's 24. She probably, I'm assuming they have sex. Maybe it's great.
I'm sure she does a lot of the work. Yes.
Yeah, and she's great eye candy, of course.
Yes. Well, and here's the thing. What she's emphasized, both him and her, because they obviously have gotten scrutiny over their relationship, is they emphasize their deep connection and shared interest. And I think that's super important. And so who are we to say that that's fake, that's phony, that doesn't make sense? She has publicly defended their relationship, saying that love does not discriminate against age.
Right.
And I believe that to a certain extent. I do think, though, that 24 is kind of young, though.
Yes. For a 72-year-old, yes.
So, but you know what? You do you, girl.
Yeah.
And he does whatever he wants, because he's lived his life, and so he needs to enjoy the rest.
Yeah, like if he loves her and he thinks she's great, then why not? And if they do end up, getting married or whatever, I just hope he's smart enough to protect his assets. And
I think also depends, like you said, right, is you have to kind of weed out who are the ones that are kind of using you for, like, he's a very accomplished, well-to-do guy. So you don't want him to being taken advantage of. So hopefully, he has things in place where he doesn't have to worry about that. Yeah. But we don't know enough. We don't know enough about their relationship to say yes or no.
Right. I mean, we can only speculate, right?
Yes.
And it's sad that it's an immediate assumption that, she's just using him for clout. She's just using him for money. And,
So here's a couple of notable celebrity couples with significant age gaps.
Okay.
So George and Amal Clooney, they have a 17-year age difference. So they've been married since 2014. And
That's
they
pretty
have
good.
parents of twins.
Yeah.
Do you think 17 years is a big difference with George and Amal?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I do, but here's where it changes up. She's a very accomplished woman.
What? Is she a lawyer?
She's a lawyer.
Yeah, okay.
She's super accomplished. Yeah. So it was so funny. Like, I think there's this clip that there was giving an award to George. And they were like, we're giving him an award, but if you turn around and you see his wife, like, she's so accomplished.
Yeah.
So in this instance, I don't think people basically talk shit, because they go, she's an accomplished woman. And so, of course, somebody like him would want to snatch somebody like her.
Exactly. And she's beautiful.
Yes.
She's strikingly beautiful. So
here's another one that I didn't realize that they had such a big age gap was Priyanka Chopra and Nick Jonas. They have a 10-year age difference. She's older.
Yeah. I knew that. Yeah.
And so they've been married since 2018.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you see, they have a 30-year age difference.
Wow.
And they have been together since 2015.
Okay.
And so Leonardo
I'm not surprised by this.
And Camila Morono, they have a 23 age difference.
He's known, though, to like 20-year-olds, right?
Yes.
And I think he's like in his 40s or
Yes. And so Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones, they have a 25 age difference. So, like, some of these doesn't really surprise us, and we think it's pretty acceptable, even though the age difference. So the factor to me isn't really the age difference. It's really kind of all the other factors, right? Where are they in their life? How accomplished are they? Because I don't know who Leo's dating, but all the other girls here are pretty accomplished ladies.
Right. They're not just some person they met on an airplane.
Yeah. Well, and so in my
talked about philosophy.
So I don't know. I mean, here's another one. Al Pacino and Noor Al-Fallah.
Yeah.
They have a
54-year age difference. Gap. Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. Age does matter to a certain extent. And then after that, you're just kind of like other factors come into play. But I do think young, like, I don't think it's the age difference. I think it matters like when.
Yeah.
Right? Like if it's 18, 22, I mean.
How close? The closer you are to being 18 or, 17 years old, I think that's when it's just like, ooh, because like emotionally, physically, you're not mature yet. You haven't had the experiences yet. Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the issues that I come across when I was dating too, was that when I thought about dating younger men, was a lot of them didn't have kids, and, they wanted, they want kids. And there was one time where he changed his mind. He was like, no, I don't, if I met the right person, I'm okay with not having kids. And then he changed his mind. He's like, I want kids. I'm like, well, I don't want kids. I'm done having kids.
So you're done?
Yeah.
Are you really done?
I'm really done. Girl, I am really done. I'm really done.
But because you're still so young.
Oh, girl, I'm not young.
Well, you look young.
Thanks. But I don't feel young, and I'm not young enough. I don't feel young enough to carry another child or let alone like hold and raise a baby. But, and a lot of them want kids, or they say that, they don't want kids, but I'm like, who's later on in life? What if you all of a sudden want kids? And I'm fucking old and I don't want kids. And I've always been very transparent about me. Like when I'm dating, like, no, I'm done. I don't want any more kids.
So if that's what you want, I'm not for you.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So going back to the age gap, I get it. I get it. And in some cases, it doesn't faze me. In some cases, yeah, it would.
Yeah. I can only, keep my opinions to myself when I see things like this. But again, it's not my life. It's their life. If they want to if they want to date somebody younger,
yes,
unless you're a pedophile, then no, it's not okay. Right?
Well, yeah, no, it's not okay.
But like people in the South do that all the time, and it's like legal. Like no, people like in their 20s, get married to girls that are 15, 14. Parents sign off on it, but because they've been doing it for so long and it's so normal.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Each to their own. That's okay.
Well, I mean, let's just keep it at the 18. I mean, like anything less than 18, okay. I would just be like.
So my question for you is: was you and Peter's age difference ever like a topic of conversation or ever a thing between you two? Or did anyone ever have anything to say about that age difference?
Nobody actually ever talked to me about our age difference. With him and I, it was I think he was more surprised that he was attracted to an older woman.
So were you the first person he's ever like been with that was older?
I believe so. I mean, I was definitely, because I don't think he really dated anybody that had a kid.
Okay.
And I do think that I was probably the oldest person that he's dated. So the surprise probably was from him. For me, it wasn't. And I guess for Peter, because he was I think we met when he was 32. So, I mean, he was already in his career. He was, he already is who he is. So, I mean, and I am who I am. And so I don't think we came in thinking that, things would be any different.
Yeah.
But I think he was actually more surprised because he's dated obviously a lot of younger women, either close to his age or younger than him. And so I think he was actually surprised that he was like, I was as old as I was.
Yeah, right.
I think for him,
I would be surprised too. You look good.
I think he had a vision of like what an older lady was, and so he was probably surprised that I was like at that older lady status.
What was his reaction when you told him your age? Or were you like, bro, do you know how old I am? Like,
yeah. When I was starting to go out, I think you're absolutely right. I think a lot of younger guys really dig older ladies. I don't know. I think younger girls probably stress them out.
Yeah. Well, at this age, we know what we want. We don't have time for bullshit. We don't have time for games. Like, for me, like I lay everything out on the table and I'm like, if you can't give me that, then like move on,
Yeah. So it probably helps a little with their pocketbook as well, that they don't have to, support you.
That's true. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think our age difference was probably a bigger deal for him than it was for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have that one meme. I forget what it says, but like they're saying like two women that are in their 30s and 40s, like haven't found love yet. Don't even worry because, the love of your life probably hasn't been born yet.
Oh my God.
So there you go. Age difference in romance. You can have your opinion about it. It is what it is, right?
Yeah. But I do think that you have to be probably like 25 in order to be the age gap difference. Right? Like when it becomes acceptable. I think anything less than 25 and you have a 30-year difference, you're kind of like, oh, that doesn't. But you know what? You guys do you.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do. Bill Belichick, you do you.
There you go.